Hello friends, today we are going to cover Las Cuevas village, a bit of the beach, and mostly Fort Abercromby. That's Las Cuevas facility, that's the fort. And this is Las Cuevas beach. It's a rainy day, the best day to come and record. And why is that? Because nobody's here. If a lot of people was here, I wouldn't have been able to give you the shot, for the sake of people's privacy. This is what Las Cuevas looks like when it's a rainy day. It's clear. The downfall is there are lots of sandflies, but I come prepared for that. I am wearing boots, jeans, fully clothed, have my rain jacket on. Unlike other beaches in Trinidad, this beach is right on the side of a mountain. However, Las Cuevas is very long. I think probably it's one of the longest beaches for bathing. Not the longest beach, longest beaches for bathing, because there are longer beaches, for instance, like in the Manzanilla, but really you can't bathe up there. Anyway, with Las Cuevas you can come and the waters are fairly calm. You can see how calm they are. They don't there's a small wave that crashes there, but generally it's calm, so it's good for people who can't swim as well. Anyway, my interest was not to really show you the beach. Another day when it's sunny and I can come early and whatnot, I will come here and record more of Las Cuevas. Today we want to focus on a bit of the village and the Abercromby fort. So this is the North Coast Road. I am heading east. I am coming out of the Las Cuevas beach facility parking lot. So that's where we start in. I just passed the Las Cuevas fishing road there. That's where they sell the fish and whatnot. I'm not into buying fish, nor do I eat fish, as I'm vegan, but just letting you know the location of that. So when you drive up this road, basically the first road on your left would take you to Fort Abercrombie. It's going to come up here in a bit, and it's a bit of a bending curve, so you'll have to look out for it or you miss it. See, there it is, and this takes you into the village. Now this is one of the roads that basically is part of the artery that leads to the other veins in the village, but I couldn't go into all the other veins because simply the roads are very small. A lot of cars are parked there and it's down into a valley. I did attempt on the way back, but there were cars blocking. But basically I wouldn't be intruding on those areas. Maybe another time. Right now you'll see the main part of the village anyway, because this is more or less one of the main roads. And at least in this way you can see how to get to the fort and some other interesting parts within the area. Again, because it's raining, yes, it's gray, you don't see things as colorful, but where we are going, nobody will be there. I think I met one person, but generally nobody was there, and that enabled me again to record everything for you. But anyway, as we go through here, you're seeing what Las Cuevas village is like. And from here we can get various angles, various shots of Las Cuevas. So if you're into photography, videography, or you just simply like sightseeing at different angles, being up here will allow you to see Las Cuevas, the beachfront, from an angle that you wouldn't have thought possible. So basically around here is where you would park, and further ahead is the trail or path that leads towards the fort, or where the fort used to be. because really there isn't much of a fort there. There's some stonework and two cannons that show you where the fort may have been established, but probably was a little much bigger. So we move on to 5.3K here, and we're going on this path. And there is this little sign here that gives you some history about it. To me, that should be better displayed. No, the thing that I really, now those were supposed to be toilets, but they look like they went through World War II. The thing I really liked about this place is you see how it's all earth, there's no grass or anything. To me, that gave that feeling like, you know, hey, this is a fort, this is a wartime place, people are moving up and down, you know, there isn't flowery, grassy. It had that feel. I don't know if that was on purpose or if it just happens to be like that, but I just like that feel. So, you know, you just have the raw dirt and trees sparsed out. Now those steps lead up to a lookout, and we are going to come back later in this video and have a look at that. And up ahead on the left there is where the cannons are. I'm switching to natural sounds now so that you can hear what I hear. And at some point I will talk a bit live from the recording. It's interesting how it was a bit frothy here. I think maybe frog eggs. What do you think? See, nobody's here. Very serene, just as I like it. I'm able to record everything. Those are the cannons, and they would have been pointed towards the sea. Now you see, Las Cuevas goes all the way to the other side there, where you see that green hill or mountain in the distance. That stretches all there, going on in that. And I do have a 360 video that's going to come out showing this area better, so you can look out for that. So you can look at it from any angle. Make sure to subscribe, it's free, tell your friends, like, so I can continue making these great things for you. So all of this is part of the area that would have been a fort, and it's unfortunate that nothing more was here. Now as I understand it, this fort was to prevent any enemies of the British, because this was a British fort, from landing at Las Cuevas. I guess they were more worried about the French landing, because they did land there before. And it was also to be a second fort in case Fort George or Port of Spain or any of those areas fell to the enemy. They would have some place to come and return, or move back or retreat. Now these steps go down to what looks like a little cove. I don't know if I would swim here. It seems a bit rough, but I'm going to go down here so you can look, and you'll see the kind of steps. These steps are a bit steep, a bit rough, can be a bit slippery. So if you're going to come down here, you need to be a bit agile. At my age, this put a lot of wear and tear on my knees, and holding the camera at the same time wasn't helping any. But the one good thing is it is really beautiful. I could see spending all day here recording. There's Las Cuevas over there, and you can see how the water is, or the sea is hitting against the rocks. It's definitely not a place, in my opinion, for swimming. I guess if you went closer there to the cove and you did some kind of scuba diving, maybe, but still. It's just beautiful. It's just eye candy. It's just beautiful. Really nice. And normally, of course, there would be people here checking things out because when you come up to this fort, it's not just about those two cannons. All of this is included. And because there's nobody here, I have full reign with my camera. That's just fantastic. So even though the seas are grey, the sky is grey, it still looks really good. So I'm climbing back up. Now you can see the height of those steps, huh? Some of them are a foot or more, foot and a half. These ones are a bit smaller. So again, I would not go down there if you are not agile, you have problems with your knees or anything like that. You can also, if you don't want to go down these steps, you can also come to this point, but you have to be careful because there's no barrier, and you can look down. Of course, the view is not as great as if you went down there, but again, if you have trouble with your knees, you don't want to hurt yourself, you can go down that way. Now, leaving the area with the cannons, if we proceed back to where I came from, this will take you to the steps, and that part there on the right is another place you can sit down and look at Las Cuevas beach. That's the beach in the background. That's to show you how long it is. It's definitely bigger than Maracas. So these steps are quite a workout, and you may hear me huffing and puffing. I'm actually skipping steps here as I'm going up. So not going up one step at a time, but skipping steps, and in a way that might be making the workout a bit harder too. But there's so many steps, so I wanted to get over with as quick as possible. But the whole journey is just simply eye candy, yeah? Love it. And of course, as you go up, you can keep looking around. Now the trees are very tall, so they kind of cover or hide everything in the background. But occasionally there are little breaks where you can look, can stop and look and stop and rest as well. Now, I'm thinking that probably a group of people came up here and cleaned everything. How clean it was is really impressive for me. I mean, despite the one or few bottles, beer bottles around, this place was really clean. That was really nice. I just like that, you know, dirt look. And you can see how the trees tower above you. Now, this day I had my family with me. Again, this is not a part of the Fort Abercrombie that I would recommend if you aren't agile, if you can't climb, because this is all steep and all uphill. There isn't a break really at any point unless you just simply stop. You can see the slant. You also have to be careful because there aren't railings up at this point. So if you make a slip, you would fall. It would be actually better for you to fall on this side, on your right of your screen, than the left, because the left is actually a cliff falling into the ocean. So you want to stay away from there. You can see how far down a drop it is. I mean, if you were to drop down there, not sure to your chances of survival, to be honest. So be very careful if you're coming up here. You can see those two chairs, or what used to be two chairs, would have been a nice place to sit down and look out, but that's not the case anymore. They're just derelict. So if you're walking at your own seat, good, but you know, you can just stand and look. To me, there should be some kind of barrier there. Now, to me, it ends more or less there, and it goes back down and back up. But I like to keep exploring, and I kept exploring a bit, mostly because it seemed to have not concrete steps, but cut-in areas where you could see people made it to keep on going up to a certain point. And because I had my family with me this day, I could not go all the way because they couldn't handle that. But normally I would just keep going and keep going and keep going, checking out things. This is something I used to do a lot in my younger days. Usually I would lead a group of young men or scouts, and we would go in these areas and camp and stuff. So this is the kind of thing I like. But usually I would just stop and look and keep going, stop and look, keep going, taking in everything. Again, I have boots with a lot of traction on it. I wouldn't recommend anybody coming up here with, you know, just your slippers, or even if you had sneakers and stuff and it's raining like this, it's gonna get all muddy. So you can see here where somebody made some kind of steps. And these are just dirt, huh? This is not rock or cement or anything. This is just done by dirt. So I just wanted to follow it a bit and see what it takes me to. And one thing that you really can't tell very well from looking at a two-dimensional video recording is depth or height or anything like that. This is very steep. Looks like flat, doesn't it? But it's not. You can see the slant when I tilt a bit. And every now and again I need to take a breath, because I haven't done this kind of thing for a long time. So those cutout steps seem to stop there. And I could have gone more, but like I said, I couldn't because of my family. They were still further back. But if you notice, you can look at Las Cuevas village and the beach from here. And then turn and look at the north coast from the other side.
Where the steps end there, you could stop there. Alright.
See? Now...
It's a bit too steep for them. Steep for me too. Also breath. But I have the right way. Oops. I always think going up is hard, but for me going down is harder. Lots of chances to slip and fall. Always put your feet perpendicular to the slant. There's no friction for you going down. You point your feet the same direction as the slope. Then you're making yourself right for falling. This is a good example of what not to wear when you're going hiking. And then he thought he was just going to the beach. I thought I was just going to the beach too, but sometimes when you take these side roads, it leads you to other places. For instance, I saw this Abercromby fort on the map, but see how I slid there? I saw the Abercromby fort on the map, but I thought that would be a special day, but as it's raining and there were too many sandflies on Las Cuevas, we decided to keep walking, driving, checking out other stuff. I'm probably heading back to Maracas. That's a huge termite mess. So we're gonna go back down.
Now I silence it here a bit because I'm speaking with my family. We're gonna go back down the mountain of Abercromby Fort where the lookout is, and I'll be assisting my sons to go down. So if you hear me talking through the live mic, that's the reason why.
I just, wow. That's the way you do it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. beautiful hummingbird, I believe, or is it a Peter Platt? There's a Peter Platt. I'm not sure. Not up on my birds. You all could tell me.
Come on, just now.
This is an interesting part here where you can actually see the cove. It looks like a nice place to bathe, swim, but you would risk trying to get to from here, right? But there's actually an easier path that you'll see it a little later of how to get to there. So all of this is part of the fort, and if people were here, I wouldn't have been able to show you this. Check this mushroom. Camera spun around a bit there. I don't know my mushrooms. Is that poisonous or not? You all could tell me. So hitting the truck again. You see that part that I just told you that you might have to risk to swim to it? Well, I'm going to show you where you can actually get it easily. Now when you're leaving, the road splits in two, as you see here. On the left will take you back where we came from. The right just takes you to houses, so you don't want to take that path. On the right here, just before this wall, I'm going to reverse a bit, is where you can go to that little cove that I showed you just a moment ago. I'm going to pull out my camera here again. You can hear the noise of that truck engine, and I'm going to go down there. Again, because it's raining, nobody's here, but I'm sure if it was nice and sunny, somebody would be occupying this, and we wouldn't have been able to do this. Not recommended for if you're not agile. There's not, you know, nicely paved steps. It's just roots, tires and stuff that is making up these steps to go down here. But if you notice, a nice little bathing area. Today, because of the rain and stuff, it's a bit dirty, the water, but besides that, it looks like a nice place to hang out. The people here in Las Cuevas are really lucky to have this right there on their doorstep. I'm not too sure what that plastic tank was about. It was used for something or it's just washed up on shore. But again, another area, really nice to come and take pictures and whatnot. There are fishermen out there at sea, casting nets. And you can see how the clouds just cover the mountains in the background. So again, we are heading out to the North Coast Road, and we're still in Las Cuevas village. I'm heading out back the way we came. But it's not over yet, because this area, again, like I said, has a lot of picturesque places that you can take pictures. I just passed on the right there driveway, and we are going to go there. That would be the place where they would land their boats. Basically, if you had a trailer or whatever and you wanted to take a boat to sea, this would be the place to do it, besides the other fishing road that I showed you earlier. Here again is another really nice picturesque place for you to come and view. And this is actually Las Cuevas beach that you're looking at. That little tent far in the corner, in the center, sorry, of your screen, is where you would actually come down to bathe and swim. So this is another angle. Many the fishermen and the keep their boats and nets in this area, so swimmers and bathers don't normally come to this end. So this might all be new for you. So I can only imagine how it is on a nice sunny day. So we're heading back out. After finding that gem out of Las Cuevas village. Now you see I could have taken that road there. It might have taken me to more inner parts of the village that I haven't seen before, but you know, that could be another day. What happens is my family wanted to go back to Maracas because they didn't like this beach because of the sandflies and stuff. But so I couldn't stay as long. So we head back to Maracas, and while in Maracas, I did do a lot of recording as well because that beach was empty. So look out for those videos as they come out. Some in 360 as well. See, I wanted to turn here, right? But there was a truck blocking the road. So again, I couldn't access the rest of the village. So what do you think about Fort Abercromby and Las Cuevas village? The place you'd like to come and see? Hang out a bit. But if you do, please do not leave your trash all over. I mean, it's really, you know, that area is quite clean except for a few beer bottles. But I just can't understand why people can't, you know, if you drink a beer or whatever, why can't you just simply take it with you? You know, don't leave it there. Just put it in your vehicle. When you reach an area with a trash bin or whatever, you can dump it. Part of being, and for me, patriotic is that, you know, learning to keep your place clean, appreciating your country. So this is the North Coast Road. We are heading back west. And as we head back west, we will pass the Las Cuevas beach facility, and I'll point that out to you so you get an idea of where we are and how close it is to that road for Fort Abercrombie. That's your road for the fishermen to sell their fish and stuff. And this coming up right here on the right, that's the Las Cuevas beach facility. So you get an idea of the distance if you wanted to go and see the fort after spending a day at the beach, or want to see the fort first and then the beach, or whatever have you. You can also park there on the right, and you can also walk down to the beach. So it's whatever you fancy. So please do subscribe for free, like, let your friends know about JB's Man Cave. Thanks for watching so much.